going on.
Thank you so much.
Pay like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock with my guy, as always, Mojo Muhtadi. Mojo, we're going to start with an absolutely enormous boxing match that is getting closer by the day. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Of course, this super fight, Mojo, it's truly one of the best boxing match. And look, the fight hasn't happened yet, but truly one of the best boxing matchups that you could ever make, not just current day, but I think in the history of the sport, Mojo, in that you have two of the most dominant fighters in the entire world who are about to face off against one another, Mojo. I mean, look at that right there. If that doesn't get you excited, then I have news for you. You're not a boxing fan, because this is as good as it gets. You see the guys, their ages, their records on the screen there. I mean, Canelo, who fights all of the toughest opponents, 63-2-2, 39 knockouts, Mojo. And, of course, Bud Crawford, the guy has never lost, 41 wins, 0 losses, 31 knockouts, Mojo. Well, who wins the fight? That's the question. I can tell you, Mojo, who the favorite is. It's Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is the favorite over Bud, meaning that Crawford, for the first time, Mojo, in over a decade, since 2013 to be precise, Bud Crawford is an underdog. Well, what does that feel like when you're a guy who's an all-time great, a guy who has a rightful claim to being the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world? Mojo, we talked to Bud, and we asked him that very question.
Any difference? Do you even pay attention to odds, or that doesn't matter to you when you step in there into the ring that night?
No, it definitely don't matter. You know, the odds can't fight for him. So, you know, it is what it is. For sure, beating the likes of Canelo, you know, in a division that is not my natural division would definitely cement my legacy as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
And Mojo, he talks about the weight classes. So the fight is happening at 168 pounds. The highest weight that Bud Crawford has been a champion at is 154 pounds. So 14 pounds lighter than he will step into that ring against Canelo at. Canelo, by the way, arguably best division is 168 pounds, where he is 9-0. He's undefeated in that at that weight class, Mojo. So I get it. I get why Canelo is a minus 195 favorite, but doesn't seem like Crawford is too concerned. And he says, hey, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to win this fight.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter if at the end of the day you're competing to be the best pound for pound of all time, or at least, you know, what Bud is thinking here. So, I mean, the end result is going to be the goal. That's more important than the favorite going into an individual fight. But can you imagine being undefeated in 41 contests and you're going into the fight as the underdog? I mean, the fact that you haven't been one in over a decade, I mean, that says it. But yeah, 41 wins, 31 knockouts, 0 goose eggs, 0 losses, and I'm coming into this fight as an underdog. I mean, if that doesn't motivate you, what else is going to? I mean, that right there just clearly demonstrates what's on the line. You're in such a big-time fight that you're the underdog in this thing. I mean, this is going to be a super fight, man. This is going to be one that everyone's going to be excited about. Obviously, everybody's already talking about it. We're talking about it right now. This is going to be one for the ages. So it just makes you excited. But, yeah, you can't tell me that Bud isn't going to be in training every day with a chip on his shoulder with being called in underdog. You take that personal. I mean, this is a guy that probably steps in the ring and feels invincible every single time. That confidence and that swagger just escalates his game to a level that people just not yet have been able to touch. So, I mean, this is going to spell for a different Bud, I feel like, man. I think this is really going to put him to a place where we're going to see something a little bit different here. And as for Canelo, you know, favorite underdog. I mean, that stuff really doesn't matter except for people betting on this fight, right? You train for this thing the exact same way. You know what's on the line here. You know what's at stake, and that's the real motivator.
Yeah, Mojo. I mean, not to be cliche, but these two guys are both consummate professionals. They truly, and no exaggeration here, they are two of the greatest fighters of all time. 50 years down the line, when people talk about fighters and boxing and who was great, who wasn't, both of these guys are absolutely going to be in that conversation as some of the greatest fighters of all time. I will say this, too, as we see these photos of Dana White, I don't think it's really a coincidence here, Mojo, that, the knock on fighting and boxing has always been the best fighters, the best boxers don't face one another. They care about padding their record, making big paychecks, but they never fight hard opponents. Well, you can throw that out the window here now. This is like the UFC's model, where the best fighters fight the best fighters, and in Canelo Alvarez and in Terrence Bud Crawford, that is exactly what we have. Two all-time greats stepping into that ring. It's going down in a massive arena, a massive stadium, a football stadium where the Raiders play September 13th. That fight cannot come soon enough. Guys, this is pretty awesome. So there is going to be a movie about John Madden's life that is going to come out. There are a bunch of, really powerful and influential and talented people working on this movie, including Nicolas Cage, who is playing John Madden. And the resemblance is absolutely uncanny in my mind. I am blown away by this, Lucas.
Yes, and as you see right there, that is the first look that Amazon MGM Studios put up, and that is Bale on the left. You can't even tell that is him.
Wait, Christian Bale's in this too?
That is Christian Bale. He is playing the role of Al Davis, and then, of course, on the right, you have Nicolas Cage, who is playing the legendary coach, but, spot on. And a lot of these biopics, sometimes, you look at it and you go, that doesn't work for me. This absolutely does. Now,
right, because I think, Lucas, you want to get a big-name actor to play the role so people go see the movie, but a lot of times that person doesn't look like the character, but that looks like John Madden to me.
Right, and then when they announced that Nick Cage would be Madden, I was even scratching my head a little bit.
You're like, what?
Are you sure that the National Treasure guy? But anyway, so this movie is actually directed by David O. Russell. Now, that name is going to be familiar to you if you've seen, Silver Linings Playbook, American Hustle. I could go on and on and on. He's done so many movies with Jennifer Lawrence, and this is going to follow his journey, as a coach, but then also the Madden video game franchise, and then becoming a commentator. So hopefully maybe we get a scene about the turducken, because that was all the craze for John Madden. But this is going to be a huge thing, and I think with all the people that are lined up on it, you also have Katherine Hahn and John Mulaney. So star-studded cast, top to bottom, and we don't have a release date just yet, but I know football fans can't wait to watch this one.
Yeah, I'm also super curious how they basically turned this into kind of an action movie, right? Nicolas Cage and Christian Bale are almost like exclusive action stars. And John Madden, as you guys know, wasn't exactly the most action star guy, right? He was a friendly coach, a friendly announcer, and a friendly video game sponsor. So I'm very intrigued how this goes. That's a star-studded cast, and I can't wait to see what they do.
No, I can't either. I mean, you look at this cast, and you look at the director, the people producing it, and you just know it's going to be a top-quality film. I think this is going to be a big hit. John Madden is absolutely beloved, not just for the video game, but he's a Super Bowl winning coach. The guy was a legendary broadcaster, and I cannot wait. And as we are looking at all these photographs, I'm trying now to make sure that it's actually a picture of John Madden and not Nicolas Cage. They've nailed the look. I think this is going to be a big hit. We can't wait. If Colin Kaepernick really wants to play in the NFL, there's a league willing to let the former NFL quarterback show off his skills. We'll hear from UFL executive Doug Whaley when TMZ Sports returns right after this.
Is Cap still training? How is he?
All day, every day, baby. All day, every day.
I love that. So
nothing's changed.
Is he still wanting to play?
Can I get a photo?
Of course he is. It's all up to the teams if they'll let him.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, of course, that was Colin Kaepernick's wife. She talked to us about that a couple of weeks ago, Mojo. Not going to say partner. Colin Kaepernick's wife, Mojo. Talking about, look, Colin still wants to play football. He has made this clear for years, Mojo, right? We have said it time and time again that we have been told that Colin continues to train weekly, and that he still feels like he can quarterback an NFL franchise. Well, the NFL call hasn't come, Mojo, but could he possibly prove in another league that he is still a really talented football player that can help an NFL franchise? That's the question that we posed to a guy named Doug Whaley. If that name sounds familiar, Mojo, it's probably because Doug Whaley was a longtime executive in the NFL. You see him right there. Some of his resume was with the Steelers for a decade. And then he goes and was actually the general manager for a couple seasons in Buffalo, GM of the Buffalo Bills. Now, Mojo, Doug Whaley is the senior vice president of player personnel for the UFL. The UFL is, look, it's a league full of a lot of college football players and a lot of guys, Mojo, who think that they could make it in the NFL. They just need an opportunity. We spoke with Doug Whaley, Mojo, and we asked him, hey, first of all, Doug, has Colin ever reached out and expressed interest in playing in the UFL? And if not, is there a possibility that you would have interest in him playing for your league? Here's Doug Whaley.
He hasn't reached out to us, so it was one of those things where we've seen that, and he knows we're here. So if he really wants it, well, we would listen. It cost us nothing to listen.
That's the biggest opportunity for him to put some game tape together to show that I do still have this.
Right. So that's when you have to really ask him, does he want to play, or does he just say he wants to play? Because there are avenues for him, not only with us, but CFL. There's other avenues that if he wanted to put recent game tape out there, he could have a chance to do.
Dang, Babcock, that sounded like a call out if you ask me. Almost like he's challenging him, daring him. I would disagree, though. There's a big difference between playing in the NFL and everywhere else, right? I mean, if you want to play football, yes, I agree. There's other leagues you can go to. The UFL is a fantastic league. They have a lot of talent there. I mean, look at how many UFL players get signed to the NFL every single season. Tons of them, not to bury the CFL. Not many players get signed to the NFL out of Canada every year. It's a very, very small list. But for the UFL, it's like the floodgates are open. Not only that, as we all know, too, the NFL has actually adopted some of the rules from the UFL, hence the kickoff rule. That's not the only one. So there is a great bridge open between these places. And I agree, if Colin Kaepernick wants to get back to the NFL, I do think this is the route that he needs to go to. It is clear at this point, no NFL team is going to sign Colin Kaepernick. Doesn't matter what kind of shape he's been in. He is too far removed at this point. So what do? You go to the next league, the number 2, that is the UFL. You show out, you ball out. Maybe you put together and quiet down some of that background chatter that all these teams definitely don't want to deal with from playing a season, and then you come back. So if he wants to make it to the NFL, you're not going to go there straight away at this point. You got to go to the UFL first. So there's that.
I agree, Mojo. Just some statistics out there and some information. Colin Kaepernick will turn 38 years old in about a month and a half, and he last played an NFL game in the 2016 season, 2017 year, Mojo. So we're going on about 8 years since he last played in an NFL game, and I could not agree with you more, Mojo. If he has any hope of playing football in the NFL again, he's going to have to show that he can do it somewhere else first, Mojo. I just don't think that that's the move that Colin's going to make. I think, and I fear for his fans, that we have seen the last of Colin Kaepernick on a football field, at least as a player. Up next, we catch up with wrestling royalty. Is Shane McMahon about to start a rival promotion to compete with his family's old company? We'll ask the former WWE executive and son of Vince McMahon when TMZ Sports returns right after this.
Buckle up, party people. The TMZ After Dark Tour is hitting Hollywood. Join Ray J and special guests as we hit the hottest restaurants, wildest bars, and sickest clubs. DJ Miles is dropping beats as we roll down Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard. The party starts every weekend at 7 p.m. from the Hard Rock Cafe. Book now at TMZTour.com. It's gonna be epic!
Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, there's been a lot of talk about Shane McMahon and his future in the sport of professional wrestling. Of course, Shane is no longer with WWE, and a lot of people have talked about the possibility of Shane and Dad, Vince McMahon, starting their very own and new wrestling promotion, Mojo. While all of that conversation is happening, also been some speculation that Shane could be joining AEW. So with all of that stuff happening, Mojo, we were so excited to run into Shane McMahon and ask him about both of those things. Here's Shane.
Shane, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. I wanted to ask you, I know there's been speculation that you and your dad might start your own wrestling company. Is that true?
You never know what's going to happen out there. Of course, anything can happen in WWE, but those rumors are false. Those rumors are false.
Okay. I know. I mean, if not, any chance you would join the AEW maybe?
Had a meeting with AEW and wish them, continued success. But it's not WWE. It's not the company I helped build. But you never know what's going to happen in this business.
All right, there you go, Mojo. So no to a new promotion, maybe to AEW?
I'm curious to see how this is going to play out, but I got to say, Babcock, I'm a big fan of Shane McMahon, a guy that was always great to me in my career. Always gave me some great advice. You could see how personable he was to the person interviewing him there. That was nice to see. Yeah. You gotta expect the McMahons to make a comeback in pro wrestling in some way, shape, or form. But to be honest with you, I have no idea which promotion is less likely. I mean, Shane said it. AEW, it's a family business, but it's not their family's business. They don't have any deep-rooted ties in history with the promotion. However, AEW is a giant. They're doing incredibly well in the pro wrestling landscape. So it could make sense. I mean, I could see a world where Tony Khan wants to bring in Shane McMahon to bring in his expertise and all the abilities that he has behind the scenes. Don't forget that Shane has been an incredibly successful business person outside of the world of pro wrestling. He went away to Japan on business for a long time when he left wrestling behind. So who knows if he's going to do a comeback. I mean, as for Vince, getting back into the fold at WWE, man, I don't know. I mean, look, you can never say never. He created that company. Yeah. I mean, he is the guy that took it to where it is. So I know it's not his company anymore. I know he sold it. I believe he sold some stock, hundreds of millions of dollars in stock quite recently, actually, in the company. So with the new leadership, I don't know if that opens the door for Vince to come back. Does it make sense to start their own promotion from scratch this late in the game? Man, I don't know which of these three scenarios is most or least likely, but I'm sure the pro wrestling world would love to see McMahon comebacks in WWE, like wherever it is, whether that's Vince, whether that's Shane, whether that's Stephanie. I mean, the McMahon family and pro wrestling go hand in hand, so you gotta think something's coming at some point.
We already know the Backstreet Boys are interested in a golf match against NSYNC. Well, what does NSYNC think about the potential showdown? Lance Bass weighs in when TMZ Sports returns right after this.
Have you guys ever played against the other groups?
Oh God, no, not really.
You know what? You hear it first on TMZ. It's going to be Boy Band Mania golf tournament.
Yeah, let's go. We're challenging NSYNC right now to 5-on-5.
5-on-5. Yeah, that's shot.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. So Mojo, that's how it all started. And we've talked about this a couple of times now. The Backstreet Boys were two of the guys, at least, Nick Carter and Brian Luttrell. We were talking to the guys as they were out there on the golf course. We were actually talking about Luka Doncic and how they were hanging out at the concert a couple of weekends ago. And we just happened to ask about golf because, again, they were golfing. And then they spit out that challenge right there. Like us, the Backstreet Boys, we want NSYNC. Now, we had since spoken with my buddy Brian Zurf, Mojo, who is the producer behind the match. We've had a bunch of great matchups there, pairings going against each other, big stars, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau. I mean, big stars. Could this be the next iteration? Brian wants to do it. Brian Zurf, the match guy, Brian and Nick of the Backstreet Boys, they want to do it. Now, Mojo, we're finally hearing from a member of NSYNC. We happened to run into Lance Bass in Los Angeles, and we asked him, Mojo, take a look.
Backstreet Boys are asking if you guys want to go for a round of golf. Would you ever go for it?
Of course I would.
Oh my!
I'm incredible at golf.
Oh my God! So you guys think you'll win? Okay.
Bring it.
Who do you think's the best golfer out of you guys?
Oh, we all know that.
Okay.
Joey Fatone.
Oh, is it really? Okay. I know the creator of Match wants to put this on. Would you actually want to actually go for it and do this whole situation?
Why would a dating service want to put on my golf?
It's called The Match. It's like a
it's
golf
not
thing.
Match.com?
Yeah, no, not Match.com. Yes, they put on like golf events. They kind of put on events.
No, I think that would be really fun. We used to have Challenge for the Children, which was a basketball game that we used to do for charity all the time. So maybe we bring that back. What?
Your buddy Joey gets a little shout out there, Mojo. If they actually did do this thing for charity, I can't even imagine the amount of money that they could potentially make.
They might have to now if it's for charity. That's hard to say no to, Babcock. I mean, that speaks louder than dollars and cents a lot of the time, sir.
Yes.
Obviously, these 10 gentlemen are probably doing quite well financially.
Yeah.
They're probably not struggling to make ends meet. However, saying no to the kids, that might be the ticket to get this thing done. Love Lance's call out of our good friend Joey Fatone. I thought Joey told me that golf wasn't necessarily his thing. I don't know if he was working me, if he was
I think Lance was working us, Mojo. I think Joey was being honest with you.
I don't know. Joey's probably packing a punch more than these other guys. I could see him driving the hell out of the ball. I mean, he's the most jacked of the 10. So
yes.
There's that. I don't know. Could be funny. See, I like that, though. That's my style. Have a little fun, break dance a little bit out there, do your thing. Yeah, maybe Lance was having fun. Maybe he said that because Joey's the worst one of them all. I don't know. Clearly, he knows him a little bit better than I did, I would say at this point. But right. Either way, we need to make this happen.
I'm a lawyer.